This is Dabu7. We have word this morning out of the Yonhap news agency out of Japan that North Korea is believed to have conducted a new missile test this morning. They're saying a flying body considered to be a missile has been launched, and they are collecting information throughout the day, and they will continue to relay that information as they get a beat on what they think this is. Now, the last time a test went down, the United States immediately came out and said it's not an ICBM. Russia said it's an ICBM. Quietly, about a week later, the United States said it was an ICBM. We now have this newest test happening today, and we have no idea exactly what direction they launched it in, if it came down in the Sea of Japan, if it was an ICBM, if it was one they exploded midair. We've yet to see those details, and I will continue to update as I get those details. But Japan staying on top of this, they feel like they're the number one target in a situation like this. They have a right to, I guess, in this situation, being so close to them and seeing that missiles have fell in their economic zone already. South Korea, obviously another main target. That's where all of our troops are. And for the longest time, I've warned of a mushroom cloud emanating off this peninsula. It's something I've had a vision of for years, talked about it for years. It's going to happen at some point, I feel. I don't think that this is going to go down like a Syria war or any of the other wars. I think there's going to be big bombs dropped. It's going to be deadly. And really, once they start to strike this regime, it's definitely an unknown on how this whole thing's going to unfold. But I'm going to tell you this much. Anything ever happens in this country, the United States, and they want to point the finger at a boogeyman, you better think long and hard about how it happened. Who let it happen? How did it even get through? Because you're going to start to see that it's going to be the same damn hand that was behind it. That's right. Just like on 9/11. And is anyone in this country going to do a damn thing about it, or are they going to sit there and turn a cheek? It's the same hand, ladies and gentlemen, that always does this. And this comes on the heels of our Army Chief of Staff, U.S. Army Chief of Staff, saying that we're running out of time. Saying that he doesn't sleep at night because of North Korea, and he admits there's going to be a huge loss of life. There's no other way around it. He says if we want to destroy their military, there's going to be a huge loss of life. It's either that or they drop a bomb on L.A., is what he's saying. He's saying this is the single most important issue on his plate, and he sees the biggest threat globally. And we've heard the saber rattling over and over and over, but you have to understand something here. The mainstream will do these things to make people complacent. They will repeat certain things over and over again. That's why when the very first talk of this broke out when Trump was in office, it was like wildfire. Everyone was wanting to know what was going on with it. But then when they repeated the same old stuff over and over and over and over again with no action, people got sick of hearing it. And it's like the boy that cried wolf. You know, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. But what they do is they get you complacent. Right when you're like, whatever. Boom. That's how it always works. So you better pay attention to the left hand while they got you focused on the right. This newest test, to me, North Korea can just simply strap one of these bad boys to any missile. They've already got the nuke. They have 2 satellites that are flying over the country left and right. I've talked about them not even having to penetrate our airspace. They're already doing it. They don't even have to with the missile. The smartest thing to do would be to explode one in the ocean, to where you wipe out many cities on the coastline. That's right. Don't even have to get up in our airspace. Don't have to mess with none of it. Just drop a monster in the ocean. That tsunami wave will wipe out 10 cities on the coastline. You see? Something to pay attention to. And I have a funny feeling that whenever something big does happen involving North Korea, it's going to have everything to do with those behind the curtain. And you better not forget it. Does that mean people won't die? No, people will die. People die every day. Just because they pull off staged events out here doesn't mean that people don't die. They do. Do you remember 9/11, or did you already forget? Did you forget about them people jumping out of them windows? Because I did not. Never will. I ride for them. And the best thing I know to do is try to get information out there to get people hip to where when another 9/11 type of event happens, you better know who did it. Not some boogeyman in a cave.